question 7 says a program is needed to take a string containing a full name and produce a new string of initials. Some words in the full name will be ignored, for example, well, the, and, of, for, and to. Right, each letter of the abbreviated string must be uppercase. For example, integrated development environment, well, that's going to be IDE, right, because, well, yeah, obviously I and then DE. Right, but then if we look at the American Standard Code for Information Interchange, well, here we say the, right, this is on one of the, ignore list. I guess also for, right, this is also ignored. So in this case, yeah, this just returns ASCII. Right, the program has decided to use a global variable fn string of type string to store the full name. Right, it's assumed that words in the full name string are separated by a single space character. Space characters will not occur at the beginning of the string or at the end of the string, and the full name string contains at least one word. Right, the program has defined these modules. So we've got GetStart. This is called with an integer parameter representing the number of a word in fn string. It returns the character start position of that word in fn string, or returns -1 if the word doesn't exist. For example, fn string contains hot and cold, then GetStart returns 9, and the reason for this is because this character C, right, so the first letter in word 3, right, is going to be character 9. And if we look at this, if we did GetStart of 1, right, it's just going to return 1, because word 1 starts at character 1. I think here this will be character 5, right, so GetStart 2 is character 5, and GetStart 3 is character 9. Right, then we also have GetWord. This is called with a parameter representing the position of the first character of a word fn string. It then returns the word from fn string. For example, if fn string contains hot and cold, then GetWord GetWord 9 returns cold, because again we're starting from character 9 and then we're just getting the word, either until we get to the end or until we see a space. All right. So what we want to do, we want to write this GetStart. All right, so let me actually just copy this. Hang on. Okay, and let's just paste it here. Now again, obviously guys, if you want this, just go to the exam questions, all right, and just find this code. Right, okay, so this is going to be a function because it's going to return. So let's go GetStart, and this takes, let's call it word num, or maybe let's call it target word num. Right, this will be an integer, and let's also go returns integer. Right, and let me just move this across a little bit. So my logic for doing this is basically, we'll have a variable called current word num, and this current word num will start at 1. Because it tells us that there won't be a leading space. Okay, so there won't be a space before the first word. It also tells us that that there's going to be at least one word, right? So basically, what that means is the first character will be word 1, and then what we'll do is we'll just loop through character by character, and if we see a space, this means we're going to increment the word number. Okay, so I think that's fine, right? We just increment the word number. That should be fine. And I've actually thought of a kind of shortcut for how we can do this. So let's just try and get started. Let's go maybe current word num. Right, this will be an integer, and let's also go current character. And this is just going to be a character. Now here then the current word num, this just starts at 1, and what we can have, we can just have a for loop. Right, so what we're going to say, let's go n, and then we'll just go to the length, to the length of fn string, and then I guess the first thing we can do, we can check if the current word num is equal to the target word num. Because if they set this at 1, then it should just return 1. And I think this will work. So, right, okay, let's go current word num is equal to target word num. Right, then we're just going to return n, because n is the index position, right, in this string. Right, I guess, if it's not, then basically we just have to get the current character and we have to check if it's a space. So yeah, let's go current character. And I think here we probably don't even need this variable because we're only going to use this one time. Right, so in that case, yeah, we could just use mid, to be honest. But I mean, let's just make it a variable. And then, right, the way we can do it, this is going to take fn string. The start position, this will be n, and then, well, to get one character, yeah, the length here is just 1. Right, and then what we can do, let's go if, and we'll just say if the current character equals a space, so like this. Well, then what we'll do is we'll just increment the current word num. Yeah. Okay, right, then we can just go end if. And to be honest, right, I think I guess we do need to do this. And I mean, like, maybe that's okay, because if we think about this, well, here again, the current word num is 1. Alright, then we get to this space, okay, the current word num will go to 2. But, you know, it's not going to return here, okay, it's going to go to the next iteration of the loop. Because, again, like, if we get to this space, well, that's going to be in this part, right, but, you know, you see we don't return. So then it just goes to the next loop, and, you know, then it's going to see, well, a character. But it's going to check this, right, if current word num equals target word num, and in this case it should be true, okay, then it can just return n. So yeah, I think maybe that might work. Alright, so let's just try this, and well, and then the other example is if it doesn't exist. So let's say they try word number 4. Well, in this case, right, this current word num is never going to equal target word num. So yeah, if we never return, well, then we can just return -1 outside of the loop. Alright, and then let's go end function. And you know, the reason this works is because, well, yeah, if this condition is true, right, it would have returned, it would have exited the function. But if we looped through every character and, you know, we've not exited the function, well, that of course means that, you know, that word number doesn't exist. But anyway, I mean, well, let's just try this because, yeah, maybe all that talking and, you know, maybe it doesn't even work. So let's just try 1, and I mean, let's just try all of them, to be honest. So let's say, well, word 2, right, word 3 and word 4. So yeah, let's run this. Okay, so, alright, yeah, that's a silly mistake. Yeah, okay guys, so I think this works because, well, again, word 1 starts at character 1, word 2, yeah, word 2 starts here at character 5, right, word 3 here, and yeah, I guess, well, word 4, alright, there is no word 4, so just -1. For part C, it says, as a reminder, GetWord here is repeated. So is right. This is called with a parameter representing the position of the first character of a word in fn string. It then returns the word from fn string. For example, well, hot and cold, GetWord 9 returns cold, because we say, well, the word starting at character 9 is cold. Right. Likewise, you know, the word starting at character 5 is and. Yeah, the word starting at character 1 is hot. Right. So let's just try and write this then. Again, this is, well, it's going to be a function. Let's go GetWord. Let's call this start position. Okay, this will be an integer, and then let's just go return string. Right, I'm just going to go end function. Okay, and then what we can do, I mean, like, my logic here is, well, if we have hot and cold, let's say, let's look at this one first. So for and, I mean, this here is starting at character 5. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to want to keep looping through character by character, and we can do this either using a for loop or, you know, a while loop, repeat until, and we'll just keep looping until we see a space. Okay, and what we'll need to do is we'll need to have some string variable which we're going to be appending, you know, each character to. So for example, you know, this will start as a, right, then on the next loop is going to be an, and then the next loop will and. And then, yeah, when we see the space, right, or when we get to the end of the string, then we can just return. Because, for example, we can only check if there's a space, okay, because, well, cold, it doesn't have a space after it. So, yeah, 2 conditions, either get to the end of the string, yeah, or you see a space. Right, so in order to do that then, let's go maybe current string. Yeah, and I think, yeah, maybe that's all we need. I mean, we can also have current character. Right, okay, yeah, that's going to be a character. Okay, so let's just loop, and I mean, here we could use a while loop, we could use a for loop, I guess also repeat until, but I think a for loop is just easier usually. Right, so let's go 4, and well here we, again, sorry, yeah, this is not going to start at 1, right, it's going to start at the start position, and then we just go, well, to the length of, right, the length of fn string, and this one will work, you know, because like even here, let's say and, well, if, you know, when we get to this space, we're just going to return. So in reality, this wouldn't actually go to the length of fn string, because, well, you know, we would have returned from the function already. Now, if it was a procedure and, you know, we're not returning, I guess then you'd want to use, well, either a while or repeat until. But yeah, I mean here, since we're just returning, right, we can use the for loop. Right, so let's go current character, and well, as we did before, this will just be mid. This is fn string, right? The well, n is the position, and let's go here. Well, just one character. So right, let's say, well, if current character equals space, and yeah, we can make that a character, or, you know, quotes is fine. Right, then what we want to do, we just want to return, and this will be the current string. Right, then we can just have an else. Let's go end if. Right, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure to initialize this current string. Right, so else, if it's not a character, if it's not a space, well then of course it means it's a letter. So here then we just concatenate. So we'll just go current string, then we go current string. Alright, then concatenate the current character. Yeah, and I mean, maybe that's all we have. I mean, let's just try and sort of walk through this in our mind. Right, so let's say here this app. Okay, and right, there's the other condition, which if we get to the end of the string, so here we can do this, we can go, right, or n equals the length of fn string. Okay, so again, let's go through this, kind of trace it in our mind. We start with this a, so here then, well, the current character is a, right, then we append it, that's fine, then we get n, then we get d, okay, that's fine. Then we get the current character is, you know, just a space, right? So it should then return current string, which is fine. And I guess likewise for cold, right? So let's just test it again. Right, let's go, okay, not function. Let's go output, we'll say GetWord. And right, GetWord 1, well, this should be hot. And then if we go, I think, right, let's go GetWord 5, right, that should be and let's go GetWord 9. Now, for example, if we try something like GetWord 10, well, this should just return old, okay, because it is starting from character 10. But yeah, let's see if this works. Okay, nearly. Right, so I guess if it is the length, then yeah, you can see this is not quite working here. So I guess, right, we can actually have another condition, and yeah, maybe this is not the cleanest way. Let's say if n is less than the length of fn string, right, then what we'll do is, well, we'll return the current string. However, there we go. Right, if it's not, well, then we will return the current string, right, and the current character. Yeah, and I think this should work now. Yeah, okay. Right, and well, let's just say the reason we had to do that is because, right, if we get to this, you know, this d at the end, well, here the current character is going to be d, but of course, you know, we didn't actually concatenate that d here, right? Yeah, that's why we need to do this. Yeah, okay. Alright guys, so, well, hopefully again this makes sense, and yeah, see you in the next video.